Sir, how do you achieve excellence?
So that's self-confidence. And immediately after recent Olympics, India team went for Asian Championship trophy. And when you see each match, they were winning by big margins. And when they won gold, nobody was surprised. So ecosystem. So what is required? Ecosystem. Whether it is organization or individual. So as an individual, if build that ecosystem, what is that? Good coaching, good material, good work ethics, good practice, and there is no way out for the hard work.
All right, hi everyone, welcome on board. Today I am here at LBSIM and today I am sitting with the director of the school, Professor Praveen Gupta. Hi sir, welcome on board.
Hello, welcome.
Sir ने MBA किया है FMS Delhi से. Sir, how many years back was it?
It is almost 30 years.
Wow, and sir has worked in 20 years corporate. मैंने बोला सर अपने बारे में wow factor बताओ. Sir ने बोला I've failed many times. मैंने बोला सर रुको. I want to know that story. And sir has bounced up many times in life. He was in HPCL and managing some big head roles. So you've done some sales, marketing,
yes,
channel
everything.
marketing, everything.
Almost entire value chain.
Wow. आज हम कुछ सर से tough question पूछेंगे and we'll talk about his journey of life as well. How the journey has been. Sir पहली बात ये लोग अभी MBA का सोच रहे हैं. 20 years old हैं, 21 years old. आपने भी किया होगा when you were like young, fresh from college, and then you did your PhD as well later on. Is it worth it? पहली बात तो सर 2 साल लगा के FMS में, SPJain में, आपके लाल बहादुर शास्त्री में. Is it worth it, sir?
I think first of all, MBA we should not see only from career point of view. It's a lifelong learning process and it's an asset for you. Once you do MBA, first of all, how MBA is different from other courses. I think in none of the course you will have so much of variety, so much of coverage, so depth as well as width. You teach, you learn about economics, you learn about marketing, sales, you learn about finance, you learn about human resource, strategy. So it's a wide variety. So purpose is, in a way, it is preparing you for corporate life, but I say in a way, this course prepares you for life. It makes you fighter. It makes you you can take any challenge. People move from say FMCG to consumer durable industry to consultancy to any other domain. How is it possible? Because the kind of width and depth that person has undergone at MBA. I think this is one powerful reason that despite in last 2 decades we are seeing is MBA relevant anymore. I think it is still relevant.
चलेगा sir, do you think MBA is going to be there for the next 10-20 years more? 2 साल लोग break लेंगे from the corporate. आपके यहाँ मैं stats देख रहा था, nearly 50% people come from work experience, some 50-60 around freshers as well. Yes. और लोग नौकरी छोड़ के आ रहे हैं. But times are tough right now. And at my time when I was in Wipro, my package was like 2.26 odd lakh rupees. Or SPJain was giving an average of 7-8 के आसपास. This 2007-2009. I got 9.5 highest. I'm proud of it. But sir वहाँ डर नहीं था कि अरे 3 times पैसे मिल जाएंगे. Now and the fee structure was about 2.5 and now the fees have gone up as well. Right? बच्चे ROI देखते हैं. वो बोलते हैं यार इतना ROI हम इंडियन हैं 1 साल में दे. I saw Lehman Brothers crisis in an office when I was doing my internship in GE.
Yes.
तो मैंने बोला PPO निकालना पड़ेगा नहीं तो नौकरी लग रही नहीं.
So I think one major factor which I have seen in MBA students and MBA institutions which students have, one is ROI. There is huge peer pressure and that is very difficult to do away with. But peer pressure makes a lot of people think whether I am placed on day one or whether I will get a PPO. Somebody gets PPO, other one doesn't get PPO. You see, it's not a rejection of a person. It's just match fit kind of thing. If fitting is there and sometimes a bit of luck also plays an important factor. So that learning comes after 20 years or 15 years. That you can say broad-mindedness and that maturity. Anybody who is at 40, 45, then he looks back his journey, then he feels in a different way. And when he's a young 23, 24, he always. So I think peer pressure has to be managed very well. And I have seen some students, they are very mature, they take it. So MBA is not for career alone, it's for your journey. And in corporate world, you face a lot of problems. You see, So excellence at studies may not work, but the skill set what you learned will work for you. How you manage your colleagues, your peers, boss.
What do you learn? What did you learn during your FMS days? So I met Ashneer Grover recently. He came to CATKing on the YouTube channel as well. So he was like, मेरे लिए तो अहमदाबाद पूरा blur है, you know, I've forgotten. And पहले मुझे मैंने दिल पे लिया, मैंने अश्नीर ऐसे कैसे बोल सकते हो आप, you know, कि मैं तो I'm very proud of SPJain Bombay when I spent 2 years there. But मैंने भी सोचा फिर blur तो मेरे लिए भी है. But do you remember anything from your FMS days?
I think my memory serves in the manner that you work, you learn the work methodology, balancing between going to class, taking care of attendance, taking care of notes, taking care of midterm exams and all. Balancing act that you do, that is a great learning. And then the group with whom you work, say a great camaraderie, I think that is the best thing.
That's the best. That's the peer learning.
Peer
right?
learning.
Professors तो चलो अच्छे ही मतलब
yes. And FMS is a different institution from others. The connect with faculty is very high.
Yeah, people are there like forever.
Yes,
people are there.
That is, and professors are also, they have a long tenure as compared to others. So they are there. So I think their nurturing is the best part which I remember.
Superb, sir. So it's more about the subject what you study, right? It's about the experience, the balancing act.
Absolutely,
right? So people ask me like, I love MBA. Like I'm a big fan of MBA myself. मुझे लगता है कि सर दो MBA charges 22-year-old MBA versus 22-year-old engineer. Engineer you can get from a decent college at 5 lakhs, 6 lakhs, 10 lakhs. An MBA from a decent college you need to pay 20 or 30 lakhs. So I read a quote somewhere, you pay 2x the amount of money, but this guy is going to be your A member and he's going to be working 7x.
Yes,
right?
Absolutely.
It's not about slogging.
Yes.
It's about, I think MBA taught me कि रात को 12 बजे assignment submit करनी है तो करनी है.
Which no other course puts you in pressure, like in this manner.
Yeah. So 11:59 p.m. मतलब 11:59.
And that is what corporate life is.
That's what corporate life is.
That is what corporate life is.
Yeah. When I was in G, we were all MBAs sitting together. किसी को बोला है कल सुबह तक देना है यार. तो पूछ लेता है सुबह मतलब कितने बजे. नॉर्मल इंसान को पूछेंगे जिसने MBA नहीं किया वो सुबह उसका 11 भी हो सकती है, 12 भी हो सकती है, कभी भी नहीं हो सकती. और आके बहाने भी मार सकता है. And hence have deeper respect for the work ethic of MBA for sure. Who come from top schools, चाहे वो सर LBSIM है, चाहे आपका FMS है या मेरा SPJain है, IIM अहमदाबाद है, एक वर्क एथिक तो सिखाता है. Great sir, moving in forward. Sir, you worked in 20 years in HPCL. You met so many great people in life. Now I'm sure you'll be hiring people from IIMs left and right. Most of your faculty have spent time in IITs, IIMs, etc. So what are the few things you have seen कि आप पिछले 20 साल में what worked for you? Was it the ability to handle failure? कि सब success थी चल रही थी, MBA कर लिया बल्ले बल्ले FMS के बाद. How was it?
No, in fact, my one major quality which I have observed or I have developed in myself is how I see my failures and how I take it in terms of bouncing back. In fact, my ability to bounce back is very strong. So I don't sink in that once I face defeat. I just evaluate what has gone wrong, where was the weakness, and what did not work for me. So I think the best part is bouncing back, and I don't go home with a sad face. Okay, and if it is there, it remains only for a day. Problem comes when we set the targets for us, and these targets are in terms of the levels what we will achieve and the timeline.
Yeah.
And you know, life doesn't goes as per our wish, right? So there is God above us, then there is a destiny. What is in our hand, as Gita also says, what is in our hand is what we can do with the given resources or available resources, and what is my talent, what is my skill set. What differential factor we can put in is the hard work. And this I learned from my college days.
Yeah.
I was preparing for civil services, let me admit with you.
Wow.
And in the first attempt, I reached to the interview level.
Nice, nice.
But there I faced the roadblock. After doing so well in my first attempt, then I couldn't make the final list. But you know, entire family of mine was almost feeling, say, sunk. but I was the only person who was smiling. Smiling with a view, okay, I'll bounce back, I'll come back. So I think how I took it, see, life closes one door, but it opens other seven doors.
Yeah, you think so?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And this has worked with me many times. Whether it is a project, whether it is a selection process, whether it is selection in some exam or say job situation,
कुछ तो
if one door is closed, other will open. That is my maxim.
Super. But work ethic, आपने बहुत सही बात बोली. बाकी सारे constant है, and only variable. देखो economic factors तुम नहीं संभाल सकते, right? If economy is bad, now placements across business schools are like
absolute
shaky. I would not say like 100% placement नहीं हो रही, बच्चा place हो रहा है. पर वैसा नहीं रहा कि अभी एक हफ्ते में एक दिन में अहमदाबाद खुला है एक्सेल राई जो कि सर 2 दिन में प्लेसमेंट खत्म कर, उनका भी वीक एक्सटेंशन हो रहा है, मंथ एक्सटेंशन हो रहा है, रोलिंग प्लेसमेंट हो रहा है. तो बट वर्क एथिक स्ट्रांग है तो आप जी लोगे.
एंड सेल्फ अवेयरनेस इज वेरी इम्पोर्टेंट. हु एम आई, व्हाट आर माय स्ट्रेंथ्स, व्हाट आर माय वीकनेसेस. Strengths should be nurtured, maintained, and you should work upon your weaknesses. There is no way out, no way out. I give you one example. I'm a great fan of sports and especially cricket. You know, Sachin Tendulkar, a great man, he was getting out on an off drive, getting caught at say covers or Silimedov. In Sydney, one of the test matches, for almost 5 to 6 hours, he did not play an off drive. He did not play an off drive.
Wow.
He played an off drive only after reaching 200.
Oh.
See the determination, see the calculation, see his self-study. This is my weakness. It's not perennial. It has grown in last 6 months or 1 year or against certain set of bowlers. So how to come out of it?
Wow.
Don't play an off drive. So it requires a lot of practice and self-control. So if he can do, we can also do. Maybe if I have made some mistake in terms of my actions, so let me take the corrective action.
That's great, sir. That's great. So what motivates people like you after 30 years of working? I'm like kind of halfway through. I'll be touching my 15th year after my MBA, and so I was listening to Beckham's Netflix documentary, and he says like one fine day I woke up in the morning and I was like my body's aching and I feel like hanging my boots up.
Yes.
I decided. So when are you going to hang your boots? Have you ever thought about it?
I haven't thought.
You haven't thought? People say like retirement at 45.
No, very bad. Very bad. Even if you are financially independent and you have taken care of your next 40 years, even then you should not hang your boot.
Yeah?
Absolutely no. You see, the great person like Ratan Tata.
Yeah.
So he was working till last 1 to 2 years.
Yeah.
He was 87. So I think we were very active. We were seeing him in the board meetings and the leadership meetings. So why should we?
Wow.
And same I try to follow. What you require is the zeal to come to office. In fact, I share this with my colleagues. Is there a spring in your foot when you start your day? Do you have a twinkle in your eyes when you come to office? No Monday blues, no Saturdays enjoyment. So every day is for your enjoyment. You come with a happy mind, work here in the institute, go back, your family is there, spend. And recently we concluded one training program, so I shared with this. Your peace at home will make you better employee in the office, and your good work culture in the office, your good say processes in the office will take you peacefully at home, and you will be a good family man.
True that.
So I think work-life balance, I think it is in our hand. It's not in the hand of my employer.
Yeah.
Yes.
आप खुद से कर सकते हैं. बहुत ही बढ़िया. Great, sir. Great. So let's move forward. You just said Tatas. I'm going to come to some tough questions also in a minute, where I'm going to ask you what are your interview questions when these guys are going to be sitting across the table at Lal Bahadur Shastri interview process. Such question I'm going to ask you. But before that, sir, you've been a marketing professor, CRM, strategic marketing, branding, developing strategic orientation, communication skills for Salesforce. You've been managing the sales teams across HPCL, Gale, Bales of the world, IOCL, Maruti Suzuki as well. I have a different question on branding. So how the successful brands are built. Some brands are built for life, like General Electric. We were talking about my ex company, Tata Steel. Tata मतलब Patanjali for that matter. Patanjali तो मतलब लोग समझते हैं कि प्रसाद है.
Yes.
Right? My mom is like big fan of
toothpaste. I'm also. Though I'm little disappointed with some of their products, but that is with every company.
प्रसाद है सर, कोई बात नहीं.
नहीं.
Why is it so that how these brands are built like?
I think the crux of any branding is trust. Trust between the service provider and the clients. And how trust is built. If I am genuinely interested in the welfare or benefit of yours, then my services, my product will genuinely connect to your challenge. And second is, I always believe any marketing company, any business entity, you are there for your customers, you are there for your clients. If you understand your clients well, if you understand the feelings of the customers well, if you wish to connect, I think that is the whole platform on which brand is built. So I personally I give one example in my class. I hope you will appreciate. You see, there was a time, and it is still now, when we say baby products, we trust Johnson & Johnson. Baby, which is infant, 10 days to say 6 months, we trust brand like Johnson & Johnson, despite some challenges in recent time. Now, there is a very special fragrance in most of their products, especially the baby soap. So, what I do in the class, I say, close your eyes and just imagine, say Johnson & Johnson baby soap, what comes to your mind? So, that fragrance will come to your mind. So, as a kid, we might have not known, as a 6-month-old infant, we don't know. But once we grow, we know, we have seen that we have grown up with this product. And this is more than 200 years old company. So people, they trust a brand, okay, my kid, my infant will be safe with that. And that continues. So I think branding is nothing but trust. And that is what Tata has built, that is what other companies have built. And Patanjali also, as you mentioned, I think it is trust because it is considered to be coming out of.
But Ramdev Baba is a little bit overdoing, right?
How overdo? Well, challenge is that only.
Don't eat any medicine, just eat this.
Yes.
This is
absolutely,
everything.
absolutely.
He's overdoing it.
Going overboard always hurts, whichever brand, whether it is a FMCG product or a personal branding.
True that, true that. So there's a concept called as B2B marketing and B2C marketing. You're a big fan of B2B, isn't it? Organization to organization.
Yes.
But when we study in the schools, when I was SPJain Bombay, and the whole Kotler, apart from one chapter, is on B2B, but rest everything is B2C.
Yes.
You know, Surf Excel ki case study, Nirma case study, and everything is. But B2B is where the dhanda is.
Yes.
Why Nirma is not because of the customer connect. Of course, washing powder, Nirma, वो तो है ही है. But sir, वहाँ पीछे बैठ के एक बंदे ने B2B convince करके distribution network बनाया होगा.
Absolutely.
वो पढ़ाते क्यों नहीं है sir subjects में?
I think that is why sometimes I take challenge and teach this subject myself in my institution. You see, what we see, whether it is B2C marketing or B2B or even say e-commerce online, what we see is only the end product, one of the 10 activities. So 10th activity is connecting and transacting with the customer. The other 9 activities are all B2B, whether it is raw material procurement, whether it is supply chain, whether it is say logistics, supply chain, warehousing, packaging, everything is B2B. So per se, say Amazon, it looks like B2C, it's an electronic platform, B2C. No, 90% of their activities are B2B. So anybody who joins Amazon may be working in one of the domains of B2B. So I motivate my students, whether they join my elective or not, that you have to learn the nuances of B2B. It is
you teach B2B?
Pardon?
You teach B2B marketing?
I teach.
Oh, this is subject now.
And in fact, let me also share with a lot of pride, you know, I have done it for 7 years. So my entire lectures are not say controlled or managed by the textbooks and all.
Oh,
so
nice. You have been a B2B guy throughout.
Yes,
right?
you can say I am B2B.
Wow, amazing, sir, amazing. All right, sir. Last few questions, sir. First of all, what's your vision about LBSIM? I think you've touched about 30 plus years now, 40.
It is 30th year.
It's 30th year, 30 years into existence. That's a whole lot of a long time, and you're here past 3 years, right?
Yes.
So 10% of the time of the existence of the school you're here, and I wish you're going to be here forever. What's your in all honesty vision about the school, and also differentiating between why LBSIM is LBSIM but why FMS is FMS? Both are very close to your heart. क्या difference है सर पहली बात तो schools में, and do you think we can merge this gap in the coming few years if students keep coming up who are good students, and by good I mean work ethic is good. I'm not talking about CAT high percentiles, that high percentiles, but what's your take on that?
You see, LBSIM is strongly built on ethics and values and the principles of Shastriji. And to put it in words, the principles of Shastriji means simplicity, humbleness, integrity, love for your country, patriotism, and living within the resources. So today we talk about sustainability. I think it is also inbuilt there. And beyond that, second to none.
Second to none.
None. That is very important. Not be afraid of, say, superpowers. In fact, if you read about Shastriji in 1965, when war was about to be there and there was a food crisis and all, Shastriji took a stand. We may remain hungry for a day, but we will not bow before the superpowers. If they do not supply wheat, we will manage. And this led to Green Revolution and also to White Revolution in form of Operation Flood and all, which Dr. Verghese Kurian also contributed. So I think the crisis also produces the leaders and leadership. So I think this is one big lesson on which the entire journey of LBSIM is there. So that we want to pass on to our students, that you have to be resilient. In fact, one single word, if you ask me to say, I say you become resilient. That is my teaching and preaching to my students. If you are strong enough, if you are mentally strong, if you know how to manage yourself, if you know how to face the challenges, as I mentioned, how to bounce back, how to live within resources, and yet you are passionate to become the best, I think there is no stopping.
That's your plan for the
students. And in fact, that is what I am rubbing to my colleagues. That is what I am requesting to my colleagues. That is what I am nurturing, whether my teaching faculty or my students. This one big thing, and don't be afraid of challenges. We'll beat them hands down. I don't want to put any numbers in terms of my dream to be ranked this and that, to be the best. The excellence should be the motive.
Superb, sir. Superb. Great. Okay, let's go to the important part. So what is the quick cheat sheet for them? They're all going to give interviews. कोई लोग IIM अहमदाबाद जाएंगे, कोई SPJain बॉम्बे जाएंगे, कोई लोग IMT गाजियाबाद जाएंगे विशाल तलवार के पास, कुछ लोग आपके पास के लिए लाल बहादुर शास्त्री में आएंगे इंटरव्यू देने के लिए. Sir, when you interview people, or all your peers, your friends of IIMs, professors and directors, when you are sitting on this side of the table, क्या क्वेश्चन है जो पक्का पूछते हैं आप ताकि they can prepare well before they come?
I think it is slightly difficult to say 4 or 5 questions and help the younger ones who are trying. I think 2-3 advice from my side is, first and very important, be yourself. Don't put a facade. Who you are, be comfortable with yourself. What have you done in 22, 23 years as a form of skill learning and preparation? I think let it reflect there. Because personally I feel whether you give for any IIMs or XLRI or Jamnalal Bajaj or say SPJain, whichever institution you see, other side the panel is pretty experienced, right? In fact, let me share, though we take 20-30 minutes of interview, I personally feel 9 out of 10 times I am able to judge a person in 5 to 10 minutes, because the way the person enters the room or the way he carries first 2-3 questions, I think that is good enough. Rest is written on the profile. So best advice to my students is don't put a facade, be yourself.
So फिर आप रिजेक्ट कर देंगे, कुछ किया ही नहीं है लाइफ में इन्होंने.
ऐसा नहीं. And secondly, prepare well.
Prepare well.
And how to prepare? One single advice to my students is read newspaper. This is an old art which is forgotten these days. If you can read one national daily and one business newspaper regularly over 1 year, over 8 to 9 months. I think this is a good preparation.
That's a good preparation.
And
for it.
second is about your course and subjects and what you have learned. But I personally feel the panel's agenda should be to know the personality of the student rather than the content, and because that is already been checked by the CAT exam or major exams.
Yeah, aptitude to kar hi lenge.
Aptitude has been. What is there is the personality, preparedness, how prepared that mind is. Because prepared mind only
can give better answers and
answers
reflect better.
yes.
What are your red flags? ये तो नहीं लूंगा मैं इसको भाई, तेरे को मैं LBSIM की हुडी नहीं दूंगा मैं, या टी-शर्ट नहीं दूंगा.
As I mentioned, be yourself. So if I feel that he's hiding too much and projecting too much, I think we
Red
never.
flag.
That is a red flag, and I feel that will be a red flag in other places also, because nobody likes that, and there are plenty of choices.
Yeah. Great, sir. I'm really having so much of fun, but I know you got a hard stop at 5:30. We're already getting late. But sir, any parting thoughts to my great people? Say 21-year-old हैं, आपने जो journey अभी, I'm not saying you're going to end that journey, but you're at the peak of your career right now. Around 30 years back, sir graduated from FMS. जो sir इनका भी dream है कि सब लोग अभी CAT देने वाले हैं, FMS जाएंगे, SPJain जाएंगे, कई लोग लाल बहादुर शास्त्री आएंगे. And sir, क्या advice देना चाहेंगे to them?
I think one is clarity of thought, what you want to be. If you are in the race of MBA just because of say family pressures and the pressure at the engineering college or anything, I think that is not a good idea. What you want. Similarly, some people, oh, I'll go for finance. Some people say, oh, I'll go for analytics. If you love, you go there. If you do not love, don't go. So I think you should be clear about your love at this stage.
At this stage. Rest all things will fall in place.
Rest all. And secondly, that is also important. Let me share one more thing. You start loving things which you have already started. That is very important. But if you have that,
you start loving things which
if you have already started some new thing and you start loving, so you can switch your love. That is also possible. See, suppose I have seen so many people. I know great Mr. Raghuram Rajan.
Yeah.
He was from engineering background.
Yeah.
Then he studied MBA. Then he is a leading economist of the world. So if you can shift very well, it's up to you. So that talent you should have to switch, and you can develop new love. But you have to love. Whichever thing you are involved in, you should love. If I am working here, I love my job. If I was selling oil and gas earlier, I was loving that job.
Yeah.
That is very important. So you have to fit into that. If you fit in, then there is no Monday blues.
Only in professional life. This you need to disclaimer देना पड़ेगा.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much for joining in, sir. It was pleasure meeting you, boys and girls. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If yes, do it with the like button for sure. और अगर आपके दिमाग में कुछ questions है about life, about LBSIM या management को related लेके या sales, marketing, career को related, मुझे comment करिएगा. I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. And sir को भी मैं दिखाऊंगा. अगर sir के लिए भी कुछ question है, पूछिएगा. Sir, it's an honor to meet you. And boys and girls, the life which you are starting right now, sir has lived and is at the peak of the life right now. And sir, wish you all the best during your stint at LBSIM and many more years to come, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Take care. See you guys. Take care. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.